What's up, everybody? It's Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, got another video for you today. Man, we're getting out. What I did one yesterday, we're doing one today. Trying to catch up and get some of this content out there for you guys. So we're out here today. It's not raining. It's a little overcast, kind of sunny. I don't know. I don't know how the color looks for you guys. But today we have another Stroup knives. Okay, so you guys didn't see my previous video on this TU1 badass blade. I really like this thing. I liked it. Stroup Knives did send this TU1 to me, right? So I liked it so much. I was like, you know what? I got to try another one out. And so I actually bought this one because I wanted to, see if like, hey, was it just one of those things where like, this is a good one and maybe the other one isn't? I don't know. So I said, you know what? I'm going to buy one, buy a different model, and we're going to check this one out and see what I think. And obviously I'm doing a video on it, so I like it. I have carried it around for a few days, kind of checked it out a little bit. I like to do that. I like to kind of handle the blade a little bit before I get right into doing the videos on them, just to make sure I got a good, grasp of the ergonomics, if you will. But hey, let's get right into this. We're going to open it up, show you what came in the box. So like on my previous video, you kind of saw what came in that one. I'll kind of do the same thing. So we got, this is the Stroup Knives GP3, which I think stands for general purpose. So they have a GP1, 2, and 3. This is the number 3. Okay. And so we're going to open up the box here. Obviously, you got a nice little presentation. You got the knife with the sheath, obviously. It came with a Stroup Knives sticker. Came with another sticker. I think this is a sticker of Chris Stroup, the owner and designer of the blade, or the owner of the company and designer of the blade. And he comes with this business card that has a QR code that'll take you right to the website, and it's got some little frilly packing material. So that's what you get in the box. It's nicely packed, nothing crazy, but it's a nice box. It's nicely packed. When you get your knife, it'll come like this. It'll come in the sheath. So the biggest difference here, well, there's a couple of big differences here. Let me get the knife out first and show you. It has a very nice Kydex sheath with a tech lock. This tech lock came set up for vertical carry. I actually rotated it to scout carry, carried it a couple of days like that, just to kind of get a feel, see if it was going to rub, give me hot spots. It didn't. It felt pretty good. I did notice I was catching myself on my seatbelt a little bit because I usually carry off like this, but carrying it right here, didn't really have any issues. I think beta loops would be a little bit nicer. The tech lock is kind of wide, but that's what's nice is there's enough holes here that you can kind of mount any mounting solution you want, any type of carry system you want to come up with for this knife. All these sheaths are custom made for each individual knife, so they have and there's no rattle in this at all. The retention's awesome. They bake the knife, then they make the sheath to this knife. So you can't take this GP3 out and throw it in another GP3 sheath and expect it to fit exactly the same. It just won't. One thing I did say with the TU1, I'll say it again with here, I do wish there was a little bit of a thumb ramp here on the sheath just to help, get it out. But when you do grab this knife, you are able to get a full purchase on it and you can just pull it right out. So the sheath is very nicely made, very well done. It gives you options for carrying. And here it is, guys. This is the GP3. It's a sack style reverse tanto, if you want to call it that, style blade. And this thing is wicked, man. It's nice and light. It has, a full length handle for my XL hand. It's just really nice. And so one of the differences I wanted to show you guys between the GP series and the TU series is on the TU series, you get this kind of little hook here that locks your hand in right here, which on this is comfortable. Like I said, if you go back and watch my video, I'll go all over that. But I wanted to try just the kind of straight handle too to see, hey, how's this going to feel? And that's why I bought this one, because I wanted to see how it was going to feel with the straight handle. So that way, if you're looking at Stroup knives, you get a nice comparison of the two different handle styles, and you can, hopefully make your decision based on that. I am going to flip this camera around, bring it in close so you guys get a closer look at the two blades side by side so you can really see the differences. And plus, I really wanted you to get a good look at this thing because this thing is just a super light, wicked little blade. And while I'm showing you guys those blades, I will go over the specs on it. So hold on real quick. Let me flip this camera around and we get you a close-up look at this thing. Alrighty, guys, we are back right here. So check this out. So this has a sculpted G10 handle. Got that rock scallop texturing on there. Comes onto the back, as you can see there. Gives you nice. It acts as jimping, but it's not aggressive. It feels really nice, nice and smooth. I mean, you even have it up here at the top. So if you had to pinch up and put your finger right here, it gives you a little bit of traction. If you had to do some finer kind of cuts, but I mean, guys, this thing is really cool. It's got a nice little finger guard right here, if you will. Come up here. Blade is recessed a little bit. So I would say if you're going to be doing some food prepping, you're probably going to be utilizing more of this section of the blade than you would be this section, like for cutting or chopping, just because this does stick out a little bit. But up here at the tip, I mean, you're going to be able to do some nice fine slicing skills with that. But let me get this TU1 over here, kind of show you guys here. Give you, like I said, that kind of up close look. Obviously, the TU1 is a lot larger of a blade, blade wise. But if you look at the handles, they're pretty close. You get a little bit more handle length here. See if I can fix that a little bit. But those are pretty much the big differences. You get a little bit longer handle, obviously a little bit bigger blade. So depending on what your use is, I would say, if you want a little bit more EDC style, light, maybe go here. You want a little bit more tactical, larger fixed blade, go here. This does have a little bit more weight compared to here. But I mean, obviously there are two different blade thicknesses as well. So, just something to keep in mind. If you're looking for something a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller, easier to carry, you might want to look at the GP line. If you want something a little bit more robust, heavy duty, maybe look at the TU line, if you will, which I believe stands for tactical utility or tactical use. I could be wrong on that, but anyway, let's get back to the GP because that's what we're doing in the video. If you want, go back and check out my TU1 video. I really like that blade as well. And man, I really like this one too. Let me give you a nice close look at the sheath. Like I said, you can even net carry it if you wanted to, but you have a few different holes here. You could, like I said, do beta loops. You could do molly clips. Kind of your imagination's the limit, really. But the blade, it is nice that it comes with a blade tech setup because you pop this open, you can pinch these two, it opens up, and then you can place this on your belt. It ain't going to come off once you lock it in. You can move these around depending on the size of your belt, which is nice. And as you can see, there's so many different holes you can mount it. Cant it, if you wanted to carry it like at a canted angle, vertical, upside down, however you wanted to carry it, you can pretty much rotate this 360 degrees however you want. So it's a nice system. It's a little big for me sometimes, depending on the blade. Like for this blade, I feel like it's a little big, but again, there's so many holes you can do what you want. And this is where I said I would like to see a thumb ramp. I'd like to be able to just kind of push off and pull out. But I mean, the blade comes out easily. It's not a big deal. Like I said, you can grab it, get a full hit, pull it right out, no problem. So we'll set that off to the side. But again, very nice look. It's got this cool apocalyptic style look. Sculpting on the handles is nicely done. And let me give you guys the specs on this here while I got it right here. So overall, you're looking at an 8.25 inch blade. Your blade length is 4.25. Your cutting edge is 3.8. So that's probably from here to the tip. Blade width is 1 inch. So it's 1 inch wide this way. Blade thickness is 0.16. It's 1095 high carbon steel with a flat grind. Acid wash black finish. The handle is 4.12 inches long. The width is 0.75, so that'd be the width this way. And the thickness is 0.50, but I'm sure that kind of fluctuates because of the scalloping. Like it might be 0.5 here at the widest point and a little narrower here, but it doesn't matter, I guess. The handle width, I went over the handle width. It's G10. This is a OD green. There are a few different colors. I believe there's a tan, a black, and they even, I think, have like a camo pattern that's like on the TU1. The weight of the knife is 4.9 ounces. I don't think that weight, I got these specs off of Blade HQ. I don't think that weight includes the sheath. So if you're factoring in the sheath, I would say you're probably maybe coming in at like 7 ounces total package, because that sheath isn't very heavy even with that tech lock. I do need to buy a scale one of these days. But 4.9 ounces, nice light, like I said, everyday use blade. So let me see if I can back this out just a little bit. Whoop, nope, that's not backing out. That's zooming in. So let's take a look at some of the, hey, let's try to get some of these cutting tasks done right here nice up close so you don't have to look at my ugly mug. So obviously this is something you're going to be used for everyday carry possibly, you know, and probably some tactical self-preservation type use. And I'm going to tell you, man, this tip is nasty as heck when it comes to that type of stuff, because when you slice something, all that power drives through the tip and very, very nasty. So you want to do some cardboard cutting at the the office or the warehouse. I mean, obviously cuts to the cardboard, no problem. Nice and easy. Kind of weird cutting stuff through the camera, though. I'm going to tell you guys, it's a little nerve-wracking because I'm looking at the camera to make sure it's in the frame, and I might cut myself. But if you had to cut like a piece of, this is like pull hose right here. I mean, if you had to cut a piece of hose like this or something like that, you know, you can come in here and easily do a nice little cut through, no problem. Or you can even come through, poke with that nice acute tip, because this does have a really good tip. That's what she said. And you could just kind of come in and kind of roll it, cut it. Like I said, I'm trying to watch the camera and it scares me. I don't like doing it because I have been known to cut myself before. So if you had to cut some hose like that, you can do that, no problem. Let's get, speaking of the tip, give you guys a nice close look at that. I mean, it's a very, very pointy tip. So let's cut the edge off this catalog though and see. Come in this way. Let's see if we can make it snow, if you will. Yeah, look at that. Look at all those little pieces there. They didn't go flying off. I was actually kind of cutting slow, but it's cool because cut pretty much the corner off of that. Let's do a little stab here. Check this out. Bam. So it didn't quite, feeling it right here. It's like, it should be right here, but it didn't quite go all the way through. Let's open this up. The tip is just barely coming out right here where my thumb is. So it went about halfway through there. Let's try that again. Oh, in this catalog, if you can see, it's probably a good, at least a solid inch thick. Well, let's see, the blade width is an inch. So maybe 3/8, almost an inch thick. Let's go here. Let's do it again. Bam. So didn't quite go all the way through. Again, kind of pick the book open. The tip is just barely right there. So it went probably 3/4 of the way through. So not bad. Pretty good. Let's check the tip though. That's what we want to see. Make sure there's no tip damage. Nope, no tip damage. Still sharp. So let's driving in this wood a little bit. Check this out. See, the tip is fine. Stabbed in there a few times. Still pointy, still sharp. Nice. Let's get over here and do some this is one I like to do, guys. So this is the old fire hose. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you guys know this is 2 layers of canvas with a piece of rubber basically glued in there. This stuff is ridiculously tough. It is a pain to cut with just about any knife. I mean, you got to have a really acute edge on there to really cut through this easily. So sometimes I got to work it a little bit, but I like doing this because this is a good, it's a good hard testing material to cut through, So let's go ahead and put it right here. We're going to do a little saw cut. Hey, that's cutting through pretty nicely. Oh, hit my camera mount. Sorry, guys and gals. Look at that. So that's actually cutting through pretty damn good. I've had a lot of knives and not even be able to do this at all. Like I've sat there with some knives and sawed and sawed and sawed and it didn't even cut it. So for that to cut through there, that's pretty damn good. Like I said, this stuff is designed to be drugged through car wreckages, fires, dirt, mud, blood, and it's, you know, designed to be very puncture resistant and scratch and cut resistant, and it holds up because this, I mean, it's tough. I mean, let's just take this tip and drag it across here and see what it does. That tip definitely went through that first layer. You can see where it kind of skipped over the second layer. Let's try that again. Let's put a little bit more pressure though. Bam. All right, look at that. That was a lot better. Put a little bit more pressure on. Woo, not, oh, look at that. I went through the middle layer, went to the first layer, the second layer, and into the third layer, almost out to the fourth layer. Hey, that was pretty damn good. So, like I said, that tip, it's got a nice, nasty tip. You can put all that power through there. So that's a really good cut test there for the GP3. But let's move on to the old shitty poly rope. Stuff is a pain in the ass. It's a mess, but I mean, you might be out on a ship or something, and oh, look at that, man! This stuff is tough. Actually, you know what? Let me check my edge here real quick too, because one thing to note is when you're cutting through that fire hose, it acts like sandpaper because it is an old fire hose, so it's been drugged through the dirt, mud, and blood, but it's still got an edge there. It's just, this stuff is just a pain in the ass to cut. But I had to come in, do a little saw cut little pieces off, make a mess like that. You can, not a problem. This stuff out of there. The other rope that I like to try cutting is this stuff. This stuff is a pain in the ass too. And this, again, this stuff acts like sandpaper as well. I mean, it's, I don't know what they put on these inner pieces to make them stay together. It's very coarse and rough. So this stuff is a pain to cut, but I like to do it anyway. So you come in, you had to cut it. You could do sawing motion and cut through it. Yeah, not the cleanest cut, but I think if I would have done this before the fire hose, it would have been a cleaner cut. I think that fire hose did take just a little bit of the edge off, but not too much. But what I do like about cutting this rope up is I do save this and I put it in a bag and I put it in my little fire go bag because this stuff makes a pretty good little fire starter as long as it's dry. We're going to set that off to the side so we can save that for later. Let's check something out here. So, yeah, so it did take enough of the edge off to where it's not hair shaving sharp. But that's okay because I think with a regular old Stroup, you'd be able to bring that back to hair popping sharp. So let's get into this. If you had to cut some jeans off of somebody, car accident or something, it'd come in, cuts through there, no problem. Look at that, nicely cutting through. Cut through jeans, no problem. Didn't think that would be. Now let's get into your camping bushcraft style stuff, if you will. You know, let's say, you know, you had to make a spear, but we already kind of have a spear here. So here, let's flip it over to the other side. So let's say you had to come in here and, well, let's start off with some fire curls. You had to make some fire curls. This nice flat grind, you're able to come in, make some nice curls, as you can see there. Make a feather stick, if you will. Nice little curly cues. Check and make sure my microphone's still on. I had my microphone shut off on me one time, and there it goes. Yeah, look at that. So cool. If you had to make a little feather stick or something like that, you could easily do that. Or if you had to come in and fling off some pieces and make a makeshift spear, you know, for that vampire badger, you know, you can sit here and work it, and you can easily put your thumb on the back right here and just keep shaving off it, keep going. If you want to speed up the process a little bit, you could probably come in here and choke back just a little bit and do some light chops here to speed that up. I'm trying not to hit my camera mount while I'm doing this. But yeah, so you could come in and do some light chops. Let's look at that edge. I don't see any chipping or deformation or rolling. Still pretty sharp. Let's see. Do let's say you made your spear, but then you didn't need it for whatever reason. Let's come right here, and we're going to baton. This is a 3/4 inch thick dowel, so I'm going to come in, do a few little flaps. Probably should use a better batoning stick than that, so we're going to use this big old thick boy right here. Get that little extra up. Oops, hit the camera. Now see, again, with that edge setting far back, this is a little bit harder to do because if you can see, my knuckles are on the wood. I'm going to have to come over here, hold my hand off to the side. Bam! That piece went flying. I don't even know where it went. But I was able to baton through there. Check that edge. Edge is still there. No issues. So, let's see that. Nice mirrored edge there. So, held up to that batoning, no problem. Now, is this a batoning knife? No, it's not. It's really light. Again, you'd have to choke really far back to kind of get those chops on there. So it's not designed to be a chopper. It's not designed to be a batoning stick, or not batoning stick, a batoning blade. You know, so I would not, recommend really using this for that type of stuff. Obviously find something a little bigger. This is, like I said, good for everyday use. Maybe some food prep. Just self-preservation. If you got to come in and do some cool, John Wick style stuff, But if you had to do little light chopping with it, like this is a pretty thick piece of wood. I believe this is where I chopped with the TU1. So let's go right here and let's just do like 30 hits on this just to see what it does. I'm choking back right here. So that's far back as my camera will go. So get up here so I don't hit my camera. I think I went past 30. I lost count. But hey, you can see the difference between the TU1 with that heavier blade. You're able to get a little bit deeper. And with this one, it's not quite as deep, but it's also, like I said, a lot lighter of a blade. So, but if you had to do some light chopping, some small branches, if you will, maybe like a little sapling branches about 3/8 thick, maybe an inch thick, and you could come in here, hit your camera like I did, do some chopping, hit my camera again. So, is it a chopper? Nope. I would say it's not necessarily a chopper, but that edge held up, still there, no chips or rolls. So, again, this is, I think, primarily designed to be like GP3, a general purpose, kind of all around knife. Is it going to be the greatest at chopping, batoning? Nope. Is it going to be good at cutting boxes and envelopes and cutting up a little steak dinner at the Outback Steakhouse or wherever it is you get your steaks at? Yep. And is it going to be good for self-preservation techniques against zombie chickens? You betcha, because this tip is going to drive right through them. So overall, guys, I really like this GP3. I think it's a cool blade. I really like the look of it. This isn't going to be the last Stroup knife that I get either, because I do like what they're doing. It's a veteran-owned company. Chris Stroup, the owner and designer of these blades, was a military veteran, and I really like supporting our smaller veteran-owned companies. Thank you, Chris, for your service, and I know he's probably out there hiring vets as well, and everybody he has working for him. Thank you guys for putting out a nice product. They're based out of I think it's Fort Bragg, North Carolina. So, guys, I'm going to put a link to Stroup knives down below. Go check them out. They got some really cool blades, and coming up here pretty soon, I'll be heading to SHOT Show, and when I do, I'm gonna definitely be doing a video with those guys over at SHOT Show and see what they got, see what else they have to offer. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe, stay sharp. and we'll see you next time.